Hello, welcome to Sound and Fairy Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Yes, today I have my hair up for once. I don't always have long, perfectly straightened, flowing hair. Also, do these earrings, are they too big when I have my hair, like, up? Anyway, I don't know, I think they're cool. They're like little Idaho earrings that someone sent me. Anyway, so this is my March wrap up and April What's Up, where I talk about the books that I read in March and rank them, and then talk about the books that I'm going to be reading in April. So, to jump right into it, I read 9 books in March. That's around average for me. I read 2 fantasy, 3 horror. One's a horror romance, one was a horror, and one a horror historical fiction, literary fiction. I read 1 sci-fi, only one. That's odd to me. 1 classic sci-fi, 1 gothic mystery, 1 literary fiction, and 1 Canadian contemporary fiction. A real mixed bag. So what were they? One was Someone to Build a Nest In. This was a book about a monster blob creature falling in love with a woman. It was very strange. I loved how strange it was. I just didn't like the insta love of the book. If it hadn't been insta love, I probably would have adored it. Insta love is like a trope that I just can't stand. The next was The Floating Hotel. This was a kind of vignette style, not really short story collection, but like it takes place on this hotel in space, and each chapter focuses on a different character or like a worker in the hotel, and so it's kind of like a continuous story but told from different kind of perspectives. It was interesting. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't like love it. Andromeda Gun, which was a classic sci-fi western. It was mainly a western. It was hilarious at times, but not the best book I've ever read. It was good. It was good. Starling House, which I loved. This was a gothic mystery. It was with this young woman who lives in a motel with her brother because her mother passed away. She's taking care of the brother. And so to make ends meet, she starts working at this like creepy mansion that has like a weird kind of background. And there's a bit of a kind of Byronic male lead that I liked as well. There was a lot of eldritch horror as well. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. If you like gothic mystery, that's just kind of like really fun. It's super fun. The Angel of Indian Lake I read by Stephen Graham Jones. This was the 3rd part in the Witch of something Witch trilogy. Lake Witch trilogy. Can't remember anything. It was good. I really liked it. I still say the 2nd book is my favorite of the trilogy, but really, really, really good. He's a great horror author. If you haven't checked him out yet, you totally should. The Last Phi Hunter took me by surprise because it was so incredibly fun. It's a dark fantasy about this wizard, basically, who's tracking down some demons, and he has to help this pregnant lady through the forest, but it has way more going on. You should check out my review of that if you're interested, because it's really cool. There was I Cheerfully Refuse, which I adored, which was about a grieving man boating around on Lake Superior in this kind of speculative fiction setting. It's hard to describe without going into detail. I also read Grey Dog, which I really enjoyed, which is a historical fiction, literary fiction horror about this woman in 1901 who goes to work in this small town as a teacher, and all this weird stuff starts happening, and there's a lot of like oppression and stuff. It's really good. And then I had read Sleepers and Ties. I reviewed it yesterday. This was like a gentle Canadian fiction about this woman going through a midlife crisis who inherits a lot of money from her sister, and she has to debate whether to use the money to do what her sister wanted or use it for herself. It's good. It was good. I still think it's like something that my stepmom would like more than me because I just kind of didn't relate to the main character, but I thought it was well written and it was interesting. Not enough trains, though. I'm going to rank the books from my least favorite to my favorite. I don't think any of these books are bad. Just because one is my least favorite doesn't mean that I think it's a terrible book or something. I still give all these books like 4 stars. So, Sleepers and Ties was my least favorite of the bunch. And then we have Andromeda Gun, and then Someone to Build a Nest In, and then The Floating Hotel, and then The Angel of Indian Lake, and then The Last Phi Hunter. Now here's where it gets dicey. I thought Starling House was a lot of fun. It had a couple that I shipped quite hard. It had great writing and a fun plot, but it wasn't very well, like deep. I just didn't really think about it after I read it. I didn't like kind of like get deep in there and kind of wonder about the themes. I was just kind of like, that was good. I Cheerfully Refuse was beautifully written with a focus on a subject that I am very fond of, boating and Lake Superior. And I thought that it was just like so engaging and I really, really liked it. But then we have Grey Dog, which I really enjoyed while reading, but then after reading I started thinking about it more. It had all these layers of meaning, and I just really, really am torn between I Cheerfully Refuse and Grey Dog. So I'm giving it to Grey Dog because, well, I don't know, flip a coin. Both of them also have really interesting covers, so I can't even like decide based on that. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give it to Grey Dog just because I don't know. I don't know. I can't decide that. Next month, I'm going to have an interesting schedule because I'm going on vacation. I haven't gone on vacation in a long time. I'm going to try and schedule a couple videos for when I'm gone, but they might be just like tag videos or something. It depends how far along I get or far ahead I get with my reading because I have to obviously film and edit and then post them before I go. And I'm kind of almost behind right now because I have this big ass Children of the Black book to read. It's like 700 pages. I have to have that done by the 5th because of the SBSFC deadline. So what am I going to read next month? To go through them, we're going to play a game called Does Tina Remember What These Books Are from Their Titles? Chances are no. No, I do not. So I'm just going to guess. My friends and I have trivia each Tuesday, and while we have won many times, free beer, yes, I am not the most helpful teammate. Anyway, I'm going to review Demon's Rage. I have said this like 3 times, but I did finish it and a review is coming up. I can tell you what this one is about because I actually did finish it. It is the sequel to Demon's Reign. You know what? I've said this a million times. You guys already know. Anyway, it's a fantasy book. The next I'm going to read Withered, which is a queer ghost story book. That's all I got. Then Brunch at the All Alien Cafe, which is a bunch of short stories about aliens on a space station. It sounds really cute. I have Ocean's Godari, which I think is about like this woman mercenary in space. I don't know. We have the Ministry of Time, which I remember because I was really intrigued. You have this woman working for the Ministry of Time. It has to do with time travel and time slippages, kind of like that place, I guess, like that in Loki, whatever that government is. I've watched like both seasons. I can't remember the name of the damn government agency is. Whatever it is, it's kind of like that where they like deal with, I guess, people that slip through time. And so she's paired up with this dude, and I guess he's from the 1800s, and so it's like a love story. I'm like, ooh. I'm gonna read Alien Speedway, I think, for my old school science fiction. I'm gonna read I'm Sorry You Have Dragons or something. They just approved me for it, and I was like, I forgot I requested this. Oh no. I'm going to read the book Do You Dream of Terra 2? I have no idea what this is. We just were assigned it in the Interstellar Book Club, so I guess I'm going to be reading that. I have no idea what it's about. And I'm going to be reading, as I said, Children of the Black, which is one of the SBSFC books, and it's the big one because it's 700 pages, so I need to get through that. I actually started reading it, and it's really, really good so far, so I'm glad that it's really good and not, like, bad. I'm also listening to These Burning Stars on audiobook right now, so I might slide that in depending. I don't know. I have no idea. I will tell you about my trip on the next wrap up, but I will give you a little bit of a spoiler that we're going to a hotel. That was the inspiration for a certain Stephen King book, and I am very, very excited. In fact, I booked a tour at the hotel of the Stephen King tour, and so yeah, anyway, I'm so excited. I'm also excited to just like get away for a week. That'll be so nice. Anyway, thank you for watching, and let me know in the comments if you are planning to read any of these, or if you've read any of these, or your opinions on all of these. So thank you.